So good morning or good night depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host Hector, and as you can see it's Friday, so every Friday is New Music Friday, and this Friday there's some interesting releases, but the one that I'm going to talk about today I've actually listened to for like a month now, because this album is a band that I actually interviewed, and it's Creeping Death. They're a death metal band from Texas, and on this album, Boundless Domain, they keep going what they did on their previous album and EP that they released. So this is an album that, to describe it musically, it's old school death metal. You know, it doesn't like do very different things that from that genre. It very sticks to that one style, but they do it great. And Texas has really being like a state that has put out like really great music, especially in death metal, and Creeping Death is not the exception. So this album has like 10 songs. It's a 9 songs, 37-minute album, so it goes by pretty quickly. And yeah, it's very old school death metal. You have that death metal type of like singing, like low growls. Even some there's some parts that they can dabble a little bit in like a faster pacing, but it really has that style. I think that the vocals are good, and I think some of the guitar solos on the songs are great as well. Sometimes my problem with death metal is sometimes that it can sound too similar at times, and that's why I like it, but I'm not like a huge fan of it. But yeah, I'm going to talk about the tracks that I thought stood out in this album. So out of the 9 tracks, there's like 4 or 5 tracks that I think that really stand out. To me, the standout track on the album is Intestinal Rap, which is interesting. And the story about that, if you watch my interview, he explains to me the story about what this did. This is like a type of torture that they did in the Middle East. So it's pretty interesting. And this song, to me, it's the best one because it features Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse, and I think his guest vocals on it give this track like some extra flair to it and give it like a more like, it's, you know, Corpse Grinder obviously is a great vocalist. So the fact that he did this with them, it's a track that stands out just because Corpse Grinder it's there, and it's, even though the lyrics are quite extreme, it's a quite catchy number, and I think the guitars on it are great. Other standouts for me, I think Boundless Domain, which opens the album, it opens with a more like slower, kind of doomier but not doom metal type of feel, and then it gets more like heavier and more old school death metal. I thought that was a great album opener. Then you have Creatures Turned into Prey. That one is a little bit faster in pace for me, and I thought it was very good as well. I think it has some great guitar riffing on it as well. Remnants of the Old Gods is the other one that I thought was also very good, and again, great riffing. And I think the album closes strong with The Common Breed. You know, it's old school death metal, and that's much about it. Like, there's not a whole lot of things that I could say about the album. In terms of negatives for me, I would say that sometimes some of the songs kind of sound like very similar, so I would have enjoyed a little bit more variation sometimes. But nonetheless, the production on the album is great. They're playing their asses off. You know, they're great musicians. And if you like old school death metal, you're not going to be disappointed by this release, because it's a very solid old school death metal album. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on it. If you want to know more about this, catch the interview that I did with the guitar player like a month ago, and we go more into the making of this album. So I'm going to post the link somewhere around here. So again, let me know what are your favorite tracks of Boundless Domain. And if you like the videos I put out, do not forget to give me a like, and do not forget to subscribe. I have more content on the way. So until next time, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a Couch, and I'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you, and good night.